everyone. It's Sue Tesloff here with you today in today's live event where our topic is Don't Let Average Win. Now, I know we have some people in our group that have known us at Capstone for a day or two, and some of you that have known us for a decade or two. But I want to start this episode with something that, for those of you that have been with us for a while, you'll know all about this, which is this whole idea is that good is the enemy of great. And I kind of want to start with that to tee up this idea of what is it we really need to do if we want to decide not to be average, right? If we want to be great, what is it we need to do? What are those three big things we need to do? But let's just start with this idea first is, why is it not okay to be average? Why is it not okay to just be good? So, obviously we work in healthcare, folks, so I think it's a pretty obvious answer why good isn't good enough, whether it's about the patient experience, safety, quality, finance, the employee experience. It seems pretty obvious that good isn't good enough. But I have to tell you that there's been times that I've been maybe in a meeting with healthcare leaders where they're sharing results and they're comparing themselves to average, right? And they'll almost proudly say, we're average. And so because of that, we're within the national average, within the state average. And right there, they're almost claiming that good is good enough, that, and there's no plans for making it better. And so I do see these kind of things going on, this mindset going on, where if we hit an average, a state or national average, we might say, yeah, we've met that. But really an average is in the middle. It's average, right? And that means that half the people or organizations that are measuring that same thing are doing better, right? And have proven that it can be better because they're doing it, right? So it is possible. It's not impossible. And I think even more so, this idea that high reliability, huge fan. I'm a huge fan. I came from that era of quality, mindset years ago, more than 2 decades ago, where we did quality assurance. Then I was there, right, in the thick of my leadership career in healthcare when we moved into total quality management, continuous improvement. But this idea now of high reliability just excites me. And this whole idea is good is the enemy of great. And that, really we should be going for that high reliability. I mean, we are an industry like others, whether it's nuclear power or aviation, we're one of those industries where, one error, one thing, one bad thing can be just really tragic to a human being and a family and a community, right? So I'm really a big proponent of that, this whole idea that good is the enemy of great, and we can't settle for average. We can't use that as our benchmark of us really doing what we need to do to the level we need to do it for our communities, right? And the people that we serve. So, we talk a lot about this idea that good is the enemy of great, and in this idea that if we can bump up, whether it's a patient experience, quality service, safety, the employee experience, from good to great, what we get in response to that is an amazing behavior change, right? And so we're a big proponent that for organizations to get better and better and better, what they need to do is to look at those areas where they're already good and make plans to bump that up to great. That those are the solutions, those are the opportunities that we're really looking for, is to bump it up from good to great. Because when we do behavior changes, for instance, in our patients. So if we bump up their quality, their service from good to great, they're going to be more loyal. They're going to return. They're going to recommend us to others. They're going to speak positively about us in the community. I know organizations that have, had huge leaps in their volumes, in their market share, in their business, which has a great effect on obviously finance. They've done that not because of new billboards and marketing campaigns. They've done that under the strategy of changing the behavior of their patients and their community to choose them over others because they're great. Okay, so being great is a great strategy for everything in your healthcare business. Okay, so to get at that, okay, what are the 3 big things that if you're done being average, you're done settling for good is good enough, and you want to be great, what are the 3 big actions or building blocks to make that happen? So it's really where I wanted to focus today is when we don't want to let average win, what actions do we need to take? So I would say that there's 2 that are pretty obvious, and they're the most obvious. We need to develop a plan for it, and we need to do the plan. So we need to develop and we need to do. So it's that whole planning execution thing that seems so obvious, okay? Now the plans aren't simple. Execution is never simple. But that's how people that are great got to be great. Great doesn't just happen by accident, right? Champions aren't made by accident. Champions are made, great results, high reliability is made because there's a plan and it's well executed, okay? But before that ever happens, so those 2 big building blocks of having the plan and the building block of executing the plan, the first step really is this. You have to decide. So before you develop a plan, before you do the plan, the first biggest thing you need to do is decide. So that is that commitment. That commitment to we aren't going to settle for anything less than greatness. We are going to change our identity as an organization collectively that good isn't good enough, and we're going to be on this continued, ongoing journey and thirst and commitment to high reliability, to being great, to getting those award-winning, top-ranking results. We are committed, and it's making that decision, okay? And so once you've decided you're going to do it, then you can move into developing a plan to do it and then executing on that plan to do it, right? But that first biggest step is to decide. In the absence of that big commitment and decision, you'll probably fall into that default of just, going through the motions that are almost like, just maintaining the status quo, that your plans aren't as robust, that your execution isn't as robust without starting, you still might have a plan, you still might execute a plan, but it's not towards that big decision that we are going to be great. Now us as, Capstone Leadership Solutions, we serve often as the strategists behind the plan, the helpers, of that actual plan of what it's going to take, and also coaches to the execution of it, right? And so we are often called in to help with that develop the plan and the doing it piece and coaching the doing it piece. But guess what, folks? We can't make the decision for you to engage in that, to want to go there, right? The organization has to make that decision. So if you're going to use outside support, the first step is to decide that you want it, that you're going for it, and that no longer are you going to let average win, okay? So once that decision is made, guess what? It needs to be made and reiterated often. This was interesting in church not long ago. The priest said that when he was thinking about being a priest, he started asking other priests, when did you decide to be a priest? And it was interesting that this one priest, his instant response to his question, when did you decide to be a priest, was this morning. That every morning he decides, first thing, who am I, right? What am I about? What am I doing? And he decides every morning that this is who he is, right? And what he's out to do. And I think that's just such a great message. And it resonated with me that, as leaders and employees in an organization that has, made that big decision to make the leap to having an amazing plan that gets you to greatness, to executing and staying the course on that plan to greatness, that you need to make that first big decision to start down the path. But then you need to be daily deciding, right? And that really gets to determination and grit, right? Because I can tell you, because I've been a leader who's been on this journey, part of a team that went through major transformation, made this decision, developed the plans, executed the plans, and still journeying down that, I was part of that, right? And so there was the first big decision, and then there's that daily decisiveness and recommitment and that determination and grit to stay the course, because guess what? It's not easy, right? It is not easy. Being great is not easy, right? And really it's also disruptive, right? I find that organizations that, want to go from good to great, that this process of especially just getting started to kind of have that first big plan, to take those first bold actions, that it really, in hindsight, it needs to be disruptive. And when I look at the plans that we help create for our partner organizations and for, the leaders in our greatness course, is really, even though we're proponents of 30-day challenges and biting things off into small pieces, when you commit to something that's this transformational, that is almost like creating a new identity for your organization, that you're here and you're going to go up here, that when you do that, that it does need to be disruptive, that there's this declaration that it's a new day and we're going about it in a new way. And that isn't subtle. That isn't, behind the scenes and quiet. It is big and it is bold. So if you're an organization or a department that is, basically getting average results, and you want to go to greatness, you want to reach those top ranking, high reliable type results, make a decision to do it, develop the plan, and do it. Execute the plan. And make that decision daily, reaffirm it, be determined, have the grit to carry it forward. It's going to be hard, but keep going. Sometimes I think that's our job as, not just the strategists, but definitely the execution coaches, is to just kind of be the cheerleader to say, no, this is normal. Keep going, push through. You're going to get there, right? And so really, you don't want the default, folks, right? You don't want the default, which is to just play in reactive mode of maintaining the status quo and getting average results. I think in healthcare, our patients, our communities, they deserve it. The employees that work for you deserve it. They deserve to work in a great place. Patients deserve to have a great place to receive care. And so it's possible. I think that's the real message, folks, is though, it's hard work, it is possible. And organizations every day are showing evidence, showing proof that things that we thought weren't possible, results that we thought weren't possible, zero defects that we thought weren't possible, that it is possible, right? And now that we know it's possible, that's the end game, right? That's the goal. That's what we are here for, is to get there. It reminds me, back in the day, when you think about just world records being set, right? Just in sports, is like there were times when they thought there's no human way possible that somebody could run that fast or swim that fast or whatever, right? And people, once it's met, folks, then we know it's possible. So there is a decision you can make. There is a plan you can have. There is a way to execute that plan to get there, right? Because people before you have shown it to be true. And we see it. That's the evidence we see. And we love seeing that evidence when our partners break through their average results and start posting those top ranking, award-winning results. I mean, really, they're just showing it's possible. So we want that for you. So decide, develop the plan, and do it, right? Stay the course, decide every day, recommit every day, be really, really determined to stay the course, and be disruptive. You know, it's going to be disruptive, and it's going to take that to push through average to get to greatness. So thanks for your time today, everyone, and welcome to our new members in this group. We've got a lot of new members lately. Jane is off on her way to Colorado right now, and so she's going to be working with some of our new friends out there in Colorado. And so we wish her well on that trip there. And if you're looking for a live event with us coming up in October, we have 2 live events, our leadership development summits in Michigan and in Wisconsin. So our website, capstoneleadership.net, is the place to go to find out information on our upcoming live events in October, but also we'll be posting our 2020 schedule, because that is in the works right now too. So if you're wondering what we're up to and where we'll be and how you might come to one of our public events in 2020, that schedule will be released real soon as well. So watch for that, especially if you're in budget time and planning ahead for your leadership development and you want to include us in your plan for that next year. So also, if you're interested in big transformational change, whether that's at the departmental level through our greatness course, or if it's at an organization-wide level through our transformational partnerships, we have information about booking a call with us on our website, capstoneleadership.net. And you'll see there's an opportunity to schedule a call. So if you want to book a call to talk about how we approach that and whether or not our work is a good fit for your goals and what you want to accomplish, please take the time to book a call. We'd love to have that conversation with you. So have a great rest of your week, everyone. And if you liked this video and want to share it, it's hard to do from our private group, but you can do that through our YouTube channel. So look for our YouTube channel. Maybe I'll put that in the comments about how to get to that, because we're posting our recorded events there as well, so that you can share them with others who might also want or need this information. So our mission is to inspire and equip others for positive change. And if we can do that through these live events and also the sharing of the recorded events, that's what we're looking to do as well. So thank you all for your help in that, and have a great rest of your week. Bye-bye now.